In this training video, we're going to take a look at using the communication module within the CMS. So over here on the left-hand side, you see that we have the option for communication as long as you have the proper permissions. So if we click on communication, it brings up our communications module. If you want to create a new text message or email or something like that, we're going to click on the Create New Email button right here. And this is where we add our message. Now, if you are sending a text message, you will want to read this note right here that talks about how it can only be, or it can be no more than 160 characters. So let's take a look at if you were to send a text message. So we'll say back to school night, and then we're going to say just a reminder that our back to school night is this evening. That's our message, okay? And you see here that it talks about no HTML tags, and it talks about using the source button. So if we click on the source button here, if you notice, it will add some extra things in here that we actually didn't type in our message. We have a P here, and we have a P down here at the very end. That is HTML tags. And if we leave those on there, what that may do is send that actually out to our user, so it might add that extra HTML code in there. So what we'll want to do is go in here and just delete this out if we are sending a text message. So we can take that out, and then we will want to click our Save Email button down here. If you're not doing a text message, what you can do is you don't have to do the source button. You can go in here and add all of your bold font, add your coloring, those types of things if you're just sending an email. So let's go with an email example. So we talked about how you sent a text message and cleared your HTML tags. You don't have to do that with an email here. So we've got our message sent. We can go down here and click on Save Email. For an email, you can have as many characters as you want. It doesn't have to be a limit. So you see right here, this is our saved messages that we have went in here and created. So let's say I want to send this back to school night message right here. So what I'll do is I'll click on send. And you see here that it brings up our different options. Now, depending on your permissions level will obviously depend on what comes up here. But if you have permission to this on your building level, or on your district level, you will get those options. So let's say we want to send this to our elementary school. And then we have our different option types. These option types comes from this options types list right here. You can go in here and customize them. So if you don't like the way electronic newsletter is worded, you can go in there and change it, or you can add additional ones. So that's where your option types pull from. But let's say your parents have signed up for an electronic newsletter or even news and events. I would think this would be something like news and events since we're talking about a back to school night. So what we'll do here is we'll click on news and events. And then we'll go down here to the bottom. You see how it has our different options. We can send both an email and a text message, but we don't want to do that because we didn't clear our HTML code. We added some extra things in there. So we don't want to do that. Or we can only send a text message, or we can only send an email. You also have the option to do a test email, and if you do that, what that does is that brings up the send test email box, and it asks you to put in your email address. I'm not going to do the email. You'll see how it works if you actually do it live, but that's how you send it. You also have the option to go over here and look at your sent messages, so if you have done one of those. You also have the option to go over here and look at your contact list. So if your parents have signed up on your website, you can go in here and actually look at which parents have signed up. So you see we have all the schools selected here. You can break it down to just your school. You can also break it down by option types. Let's just do a search here. And you see right here that we only have one person that has signed up for the communications module. We can go in here and actually edit that person if we want to. We can edit their first and last name, their email address, what selections they get, and what kind of messages they get. Let's go over here to option types that I was talking about a few seconds ago. Again, you can go in here and add different option types. So maybe you want to add something else, maybe just for maybe a certain department in your building, or maybe club messages, something like that. You can do that. And for your parents and students to sign up for these communication messages, this is our demonstration website right here. You can add a communications link, or if you don't have the proper permissions, your website manager for your building or district level can give you access, or can add that communications link. But if we click on communications here, what we see is the form that they fill out for signing up for communications, and they get those different options as far as the buildings and as far as the certain notifications to receive. They also have the option to go in here and unsubscribe in case they do not want to be subscribed to your message anymore. So that's how you use the communications module within the CMS. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call and we'll be more than happy to help you.